He's complete. So many universes are emanating from his body. You see, his personality is not like our personality. It is foolishness. Savajananti mamuda. The fools and rascals, they consider me to be an ordinary man, Krishna says. Krishna complains. How can an ordinary personality produce unlimited universes from his body? Right? There must be origin in this material. So many manifestations. There must have origin. Everything has an origin. Just like I have an origin. My father, my mother. At one point they met and they conceived me. That's why I'm here today. But they were also conceived, right? They also had a grandfather. My grandfather also had a father, and so on, so it goes. See? I have no clue who was my grandfather. That history is lost, right? I have no clue. I might trace out a few generations, right? But I have not seen my and so on father. I have not seen him. I don't even know what was his name. I don't know anything about him, right? I can challenge. What is the proof that such a person ever existed? Right? Prove it to me that he existed. Show me. I want to see, first of all. Then I'll believe. See? But is that a good proposal? To deny my own grandfather? See, there are other methods of how to ascertain the existence of my predecessors. See? And one of the most essential understanding or evidences is my own existence. Because I exist, therefore God exists. Because I'm a person, that's why the supreme absolute truth, the highest understanding, the complete whole, must also be a person. The complete whole must contain everything within our experience and everything outside of the experience. Otherwise, it cannot be complete. So how can that supreme absolute truth lack anything? How can he lack personality? See, when we speak of origin, it's always personal. Nothing impersonal can manifest something personal. Where do we see this in nature? That out of a stone, all of a sudden a person comes out, a baby. No, there must be father, the mother, conscious persons. And have sex life, and then there's a baby born. A seed, there must be living seeds. Then the tree grows. If you burn the seeds, no tree will grow. There is life. The origin of life is life. So many evidence. Still foolish people are trying to deny Supreme Personality of God. And sometimes for a right reason. Sometimes for a right reason. Because this science of God has not been explained properly. See? And this is the topic of today's class. Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajasa vidu sekaranya mata yuganasta parantapa. And the supreme science of Godhead, the supreme science of the relationship. Yoga, the word yoga means a relationship. The science of relationship has been passed down through the succession of saintly kings, Raja Rishis. But in due course, this science has been lost. Why it has been lost? Because it has not been passed down as it is. See, Prabhupada says, therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. See, this is the fundamental qualification before accepting the spiritual master. People, they usually inquire, what is the proof that a bona fide spiritual master is bona fide? Or how do I know how to find a bona fide source of knowledge? How do I know so many religions, so many scriptures, so many teachers, so many gurus? How do I choose the one who is right? How do I know? But this is not the question to ask. The first question to ask is, am I qualified? Am I qualified to approach the spiritual master? If I still have faith in my whimsical mind, if I still have faith in my imperfect senses. See, people chant, show me God, I want to see God. But you cannot even see your own eyelids. Your eyes are so imperfect. So how can you challenge like this? How can you dare to challenge God? Is God your servant that He can come simply on your beckoning? God, please show yourself to me. Who are you? You're insignificant. This understanding we should have. If I'm still very puffed up, oh, I'm a very intelligent man, I'm a very wise man, I know everything, I don't need any guidance, and this and that. This is actually the qualification of a fool. To think like this is the qualification of a mudha, of an ass. Because if I think like this, I know everything, I'm in charge, I'm this and that, I cannot learn. See? When we speak of knowledge, knowledge is unlimited, eternal. I am minute. I am not absolute. I am not God. If I am God, how come that I have come here today to inquire about spiritual life? Or anything. Anything. We're so much in ignorance. That's why we go to school. We don't even know who's our father. By our imperfect senses, we cannot ascertain. That's why we ask the mother, who is my father? So she will explain. So, we should understand I am imperfect. And even if I think that I'm very intelligent, then how is that I cannot solve the real problems of life? How is that? The real problems of life. Birth, death, old age, disease. These are the real problems. All the other problems are simply corollaries. They're derived from these root problems. Just like economy. Now everyone is worried about the economy. Right? There's going to be a Wall Street, it's going to crush, and we're all going to be in crisis. There's going to be war, and so on. So it's in the air. Right? So why? Why are we so much worried about the economy? Because we're afraid to die. Right? If there's no money, and there's no food, we're going to die. Right? So death is the real problem. That's what we can't solve. The economy is simply a corollary of this problem. You see, so instead of dealing with the temporary problems and wasting time, because these problems, they cannot be solved. Unless the root problem is solved, the other branches of those problems cannot be solved. Do not be naive. Do not be naive. Spiritual master, he speaks very sharp words to awaken us to sanity. Why are you wasting time with these temporary problems? You go to the essence. Ask yourself the essential problems. Why am I supposed to die? I don't want to die. Does anybody want to die? Does anybody want to die here? Yes, no problem. No. Some person comes here all of a sudden with a gun. We're all going to panic, right? We're all going to remember, oh my God, now I will probably die. What is the value of life? See, immediately the questioning comes. When the threat is there, immediately the essential questions, they arise from the subconscious. See, but the modern society is arranged in such a way that they actually help us to push these essential questions, back to the subconscious. Don't discuss this death, this disease. Don't discuss this old age. Have a plastic surgery. Hide it. And don't discuss birth. Just put it in a hospital. Don't deal with it. Put some injection in the mother so she's unconscious. Right? Don't deal with it. So, the spiritual master, he actually brings these problems on the surface. And not just that, He offers us the solution. Solution. I don't want to die. Why? Because it's unnatural. I am spirit, soul, I am eternal. Death is therefore unnatural for me. It's unnatural for me. So if I'm a little sincere, I should try to find a solution. See? And this is the qualification to accept a bona fide spiritual master. And I'm ready to accept any material circumstance to solve this problem. And why? Because I understand that the material circumstance is not very essential. See, I'm not this body. I'm not this body. I'm not a man, I'm not a woman, ugly, beautiful, tall, small, black, white, Hindu, Buddhist, Christian. Nonsense. I am eternal spirit soul. Eternal spirit soul. That's why no matter how wonderful my material conditioning is, my comfortable situation is, I can never be satisfied, I can never be happy. I can only be satisfied by eternal pleasure, by eternal engagement, by eternal association. And this is Krishna consciousness. So the spiritual master, actually, we don't need to look for the spiritual master in the yellow pages. Spiritual master, as soon as you develop this sincerity, you develop this inquisitiveness, you develop this eager desire to come out of this temporary existence. If you become sincere, yes, actually, I don't want to die. I want to solve this problem. I don't want to push it aside through some mumbo jumbo, some mental speculation, some lies. Right? It's like we see so many commercials. It's a lie. You're wonderful, you're great, you deserve this nice car, this is how you can live, everything is wonderful, everything is fine. It's all a lie. Right? Because no matter how you make this life comfortable, no matter how much money you earn, ultimately the death is going to come and you have to leave everything aside. You see? So if I'm a little intelligent, before that threat comes, the threat of death, I should inquire how to solve this problem. And if I become sincere like this, just like Krishna fulfills your desires for material enjoyment, he gives you facilities, gives you body so you can enjoy a particular situation you have desired in your previous life or maybe the life before. Similarly, he will put you in contact with a bona fide spiritual master. So the only qualification to meet a bona fide spiritual master is your eagerness to solve these problems. That's all. Nothing complicated. And when we approach the spiritual master, of course, this should not be the end of it. I want liberation from this situation. I'm suffering very much. Now I want relief. No. The spiritual master teaches us more than that. He's teaching us about the real pleasure, the real atmosphere, the real world where we're supposed to be, the spiritual world. Or as the Christian say, the kingdom of God. So that information is available in the Shastra, in the Vedic literatures, very minutely described. The spiritual master simply he teaches from the scriptures. He never manufactures any siddhanta which is not supported by the Vedic literatures. That is another way how we can recognize a bona fide spiritual master. He never deviates from the teachings of Krishna, from the teachings of the Vedas. You see? Just like now, there's been this concept taught that you need a living guru. You need a guru who is embodied in flesh and bones. Where is this taught in the Vedic literatures? Where is this concept taught? The living guru. That the guru is material. If he is material, if he is conditioned by the material laws, how can he give us any transcendental knowledge? How can he give us any transcendental knowledge? If he himself is in Maya, why are we then accepting him? Why are we accepting him? Because we're not ready to get free from the material existence. That is why we're accepting a bogus spiritual master. If we were sincere, then that kind of condition would not be applicable. You see? So this is not taught in the Vedic literatures. This is not taught by the bona fide acharyas. The bona fide acharyas, just like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur or Narottam Das Thakur, who have composed devotional songs, which we sing daily, they have taught differently. Narottam Das Thakur, he says, Janme Janme Prabhu say, O Gurudev, O my spiritual master, you are my master birth after birth. Birth after birth. The spiritual master is eternal. Just like Krishna is eternal. The spiritual master is eternal. Why? Because the message, what he says, is eternal. Of course, the spiritual master, he explains the message according to time, place, and circumstance. Because the material circumstances change. So the spiritual master, he's expert in finding the means how to relate the spiritual Siddhanta, the spiritual conclusion, to the people according to time, place, and circumstance. But he never deviates from the conclusion. See? There's a huge difference. This is eternal knowledge. Just like Krishna says, you have been changing your body from childhood to youthhood to old age in the past. It's going on in the present, and it will go on in the future. This is real knowledge. A knowledge which changes is not real knowledge. It is a belief. Right? Sometimes people take up Christian religion, then they change. Now I'm a Hindu. And they're Hindus, then they're Muslims. And Muslims, they're Buddhists. And this one can do even within one lifetime. You can change faith like that. Right? So many times we have been disappointed. We believed in something, then we became fed up with it. We took up some other activity. So many people, right? So many people we had, so many friends throughout our lifetime. Where are they now? Right? We have changed. Because this is temporary. But when we speak of real knowledge, that is eternal. And that's why in Siddhanta, the acharyas, they do not differ. All the bona fide acharyas in disciplic succession, they speak the same thing, as it is. No difference. So similarly, if you yourself are repeating the message of the spiritual master as it is, then you're guru. Then you're guru. You don't need a certificate. You don't need a danda. You don't need anything. This is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Anyone who knows the signs of Krishna, whether he is a Shudra, whether he is a Brahmin, whether he is a Kshatriya, whether he is a Grihastha, he's a guru. How is he a guru? By what he says. Not by his body, not by his danda, not by any of these material designations. When a fool comes and he's dressed very nicely, we might get fooled. Oh, this is a very intelligent person. He might even say, I've studied in Harvard University. Right? But if he says that life comes from matter, or just a bunch of chemicals, right? And we'll prove it in the future, post-data check, philosophy, in the future we will prove it. Then immediately know this person is a rascal, fool number one. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, don't try to know the Guru by your eyes. Don't try to see the Guru by your eyes. You must be cheated like this. You must be cheated. Try to see the spiritual master by your ears. That is why the Vedic knowledge is called Shruti. It's passed down through vibration, not by seeing, not by some mystic jugglery, some mystic electricity, some vibration, special vibration, or some mysticism, and so on and so on. No. That is very vague. Right? And if it's vague, then many nonsense people can take advantage. The spiritual master speaks clearly, just like Krishna. He speaks very clearly, very logically. Nothing, not a word in the Bhagavad Gita is extra. Nothing extra is said. Everything very nicely and concise. So we have to approach the spiritual master. When we approach him, there are three important aspects in our relationship with the spiritual master. We should be submissive. We should not be puffed up. We should not try to challenge the spiritual master. What is the proof that you realized? Show me, prove yourself to me. No. Who are you? You cannot ascertain whether someone is perfect or not, because you yourself are not perfect. So that very question is foolishness. Prove yourself to me whether you're perfect. What you can understand, why you're approaching the spiritual master, unless you yourself are imperfect, why you're approaching him. You see? Then, submission, let's be more specific. Someone might make a show. Oh, Gurudev, you're very nice. You were the best. You were the perfect, and so on and so on. What is the proof that you're submissive? There must be inquiry. Pranipatina. Right? Sorry, no. Pariprashnena. Must be inquisitiveness, inquiry. Not a nonsense inquiry. How can I improve my sex life? How can I solve my medical problem? How can I get some money? This is not a proper inquiry. As such a person, the bona fide spiritual master, he kicks out. You get out of here. Go to a doctor. Go to study economics if you want some money. Why are you coming to me? Get out. And if he is a nonsense, he says, yes, I will tell you, come, we'll study the Vedas, I'll tell you how to get money from the Vedas. Then he's a fool and rascal. Bogus rascal number one. Giving something material. A bona fide spiritual master speaks of Krishna and only Krishna. You see, that is why he's bona fide spiritual master. So there must be inquiry, but proper inquiry. About the Brahman. Atartha Brahma Jigyasa. Who am I? What is God? What is the relationship? Simple. And now, the inquiry. Should we just go on inquiring? What is this? What is that? Just like a dictionary. Prabhupada says, don't make me a dictionary. That's, what is this, spiritual master? What is that? Be my dictionary. No. There must be sevaya, service. There must be service. Unless we serve the spiritual master, the knowledge we receive will not be realized. It is practical. Just like I mentioned in the beginning. It is also practical. We explain the philosophy, but we also practically engage in this process of bhakti yoga, chanting. Chanting, dancing, and also feasting. This feasting is also not ordinary feasting, just filling up my belly with nice preparations. It is also transcendental. You can only eat prasadam, you can become spiritually realized. There's evidences in the Vedic literatures. So sevaya, we should render service to the spiritual master. So you have all actually rendered service today because he brought something nice for Krishna. Although no one asked, you have volunteered to bring something, some offerings, some raw ingredients so we can offer something for Krishna. So this is very good, and our spiritual master will surely bestow benedictions upon you to become fortunate and realize the Supreme Absolute Truth, Shri Krishna, in this life. So, if there are any questions pertaining to this particular topic, you very much welcome to ask. No questions? Any questions?
A lot of questions.
Please, don't hesitate.
Are you a spiritual master?
I'm a servant of the spiritual master. Yes. Actually, there are two types of spiritual masters. One is called the Diksha Guru. The Diksha Guru. So we accept as the bona fide Diksha Guru our Srila Prabhupada. For the position of a Diksha Guru, one has to be completely perfect. One cannot become a Diksha Guru unless he's complete perfect in the process of Bhakti Yoga. But there's another type of spiritual master that is called Shiksha Guru. Is a person, he might be perfect, might not be perfect, who gives an instruction. Just like at the university, you have different books, right? So the author of the book is not necessarily present physically, right? But there is an instructor, teacher, who also must be, to a certain extent, conversant with the topics, who can help out. See, he's not a necessary spiritual master. See, if you're intelligent, you can read the book directly and learn the subject matter yourself. See, if you're very sincere. But usually, people, it's helpful. It inspires. So that's why people sign up to the university and so on and so on. Plus there are other students present. It is very inspiring, very conducive environment, the university. You can discuss with others. So in this way, everyone can be a spiritual master. Right? But the Diksha Guru is one. The author of the book is one. If the instructor in school all of a sudden he says that yes, it's written like this here, but actually that is nonsense. I'll tell you how it is in actuality. Then there's going to be a problem. The students, they're going to complain to the principal that this teacher, he's teaching us something we're not sure what it is because he's not speaking from the book. So there's a problem. See? But when the instructor, when he's conversant with the knowledge and he preaches accordingly, then everyone is satisfied. Yes, he's teaching the right thing. He breaks down the knowledge. He has read it many times. I read it only one time. I don't remember everything, so I can ask for his guidance and ask about the essential things, and that is very helpful. So everyone can become a Shiksha Guru in our Krishna consciousness movement, but the Diksha Guru is one. Srila Prabhupada.
You said that you read the book once?
Sorry?
You said that you had read this book once?
Well, yeah, it seems like that. Whenever I open it, there's so much knowledge, it seems that I only read it once.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that there's more information in metaphor, or is it literally, you describe things literally?
Yes, everything is literal.
Mm.
Yeah. There's actually this battle of Kurukshetra in heaven. And that place, Kurukshetra, is still there in India. Right? There's a train station called Kurukshetra. You can take a train line there. The battlefield is still there.
When you were talking about applying these types of values to your life, is that why you pray, or is there a way that you can apply these types of values to your life?
What do you mean by values?
About letting go of illusion.
What is illusion?
The senses, right? Things that are like life's minutia that distract you from the real questions. Like what is life?
So what is reality?
Exactly, though. But these are the questions. These would be the questions that we'd be asking, and then all the other things that are distractive. Mm-hmm. Is prayer how you apply?
No, but you said values. So what are these values?
Oh, sorry. The values that that what is important is beyond the sense of the world. And this is illusion. Am I getting it wrong? That's kind of what I gathered from what you were saying.
I'm kind of having difficulty to understand your question. What is, because like many points together, what is actually the question?
Well, how do you apply the teachings
The teachings of the
your
Bhagavad
guru,
Gita
yeah, of your guru in your day-to-day life? How do you do that?
in your daily life? Well, you try to think of Krishna and engage in the service of Krishna. For example, eating. We all eat. We can't go on living without eating. So instead of eating yourself, you offer the foodstuff to Krishna. You make it a transcendental engagement instead of just gratifying, like almost like on animal platform, gratifying and having no discrimination in eating. Why not make it a meditation? Why not make it something holy, something sacred? So this is what we do. We don't eat directly foodstuff. We first offer it to Krishna according to the rules and regulations. And offering to Krishna also is not an ordinary thing. Krishna has his likes and dislikes. He's a personality. So we offer him according to what he likes. He never says that I want chicken, I want hamburger, something like that, eggs, fish. He says, just give me some simple foodstuff like fruit, vegetable, rice, grain, milk, and so on, so on.
Water, flour.
Water, flour, thank you. Pashpam, Phulam, Ayam, Toyam. There's a shloka in the Bhagavad Gita with Krishna. He directly says, this is what I would like. So we offer him that, and then we take Krishna prasadam. Krishna is complete. So he doesn't take the actual offering, but he takes the love. We have saturated the offering with love. Love means that I follow certain rules and regulations because I care about Krishna. I want to give him what he likes, as he likes. So that is how our love is expressed. It's not sentimental, I love Krishna, so I can do whatever I want, and because I love him, you must accept it. No. It's like in any relationship, right? You have a relationship with someone. So if you want to please that person, you first gonna inquire. What do you like? What are your hobbies? What are your favorite movies? What are your favorite restaurant or something like that? And then you're gonna surprise that person. This is for you, a present. Oh, surprise! Oh, exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Right?
Yeah.
And if you just give him something what you want him to have, and he actually doesn't like it, he's just going to be disturbed. So in the same way, in Krishna consciousness, we have to first of all inquire, what Krishna likes, and what is the actual spiritual life. What is it? What is it? What is God? Who am I? What is the soul? What are these things? What is spiritual life? That's why I ask values. What is a value? What is illusion? Like that. People are using these terms, and they work with them, and so on and so on. But then you ask them, what do you mean? And they can't answer. So if you ask any religionist, who is God? Who is God? Tell me, who is God? They will say, Creator, Father, Supreme Father, the Alpha, Omega. And that's it. That's all. They don't know. They don't know what is the form of God. How does he look like? He doesn't have any form. God has no form. How is it? I have a form. And God cannot afford a form. See, my form is very nice. I like my form. Right? We have different forms here. Right? And it's nice. We see, we observe, oh, wow, so many people, so many varieties. These guys are from India. There's some girls from the university. There's a little Gaurachandra from Germany. Came all the way across the ocean. Right? There's Nityananda. Okay. There's Nityananda, expert Mridanga player. Right? So many varieties. And this is nice. If it was just me, you come here, it's just me, the boring Purujit. You're gonna be just looking at the walls and like that. But this is what makes it exciting, varieties, right? And Krishna, the word Krishna means reservoir of all pleasure. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. So how can God be without varieties, without form? This is what makes life so pleasurable. How can we deny this principle of pleasure when it comes to God? Pleasure is such a fundamental principle. How can we deny it when we come to God? So Krishna consciousness, it puts everything in context. Whatever we have experienced or understood so far, it puts into context and gives you something more, something unique, some information which is not, which it is not possible to access through our limited mental speculation. Certain realizations we all had. For example, we understood that there must be something higher in life. There's going to university, getting a diploma, getting a job, getting a family, then getting old and dying. Right? There must be something higher. Right? So we should pursue this inner desire. I want to be eternal. I want to have eternal pleasure. I want to understand God, who He is, and what is my relationship with Him. Then the spiritual master is there for you and he gives you all what you need. Yes.
I think you were saying, like, does it involve prayer? And yeah, actually, like, you can offer your food to Krishna and think of God, but you have to inquire how. How do I offer the food? And then when you engage in prayer, you learn how to offer the food. But you can also think, well, I'll say my own prayer or do it this way or that way. But then that can become idol worship.
Yes.
But when you do it from the disciplic succession, the spiritual masters, then it's authorized and there's proof that this is how it's done. You can say, oh, this is God and I'll do my own thing. It's like, then you're stepping into his own idol worship.
Circle.
Yeah.
Just one thing. Is there any question you want to ask?
Oh, no. She's
because just to follow the format, this may turn into another class, and everyone's going to share his realizations,
okay.
And we can do that for sure. But
okay.
Hare Krishna. During the prasadam.
Okay.
So on this, is that question clarified?
Yes.
Or do you have any more questions?
No.
Or anyone else have a question?
There are so many in there.
Okay.
I'll come.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You're inquisitive.
Definitely. Oh, definitely.
Okay, good. All right. So now your daughter, she can chant. Yeah, if you could.